the Eagles by 16 points. Kitski in ruck, big tap away, out the direction of Pays. He grabbed that one well, back to Eichner. Eichner kicked it straight into Kitski. This allows Russell to get the ball and clear out wide to Benson. Russell's been a good player. Benson's kick is very high. Wilmot front position, Weston with the spoil. Reynolds taps the ball out. In there is Schwartz. Taps it backwards, Klomp in there, Lindsay desperate work. The Bruce version. Now it finally comes out to Enright. Enright out wide to Andrew Pays. He's got better the longer this game's gone on. His handle is good. It's put in front of the running Appleton. Appleton one bounce. Has time for a second. Could have a third. He does so. Now lifts the eyes. Kick number 5. He centered it well. Dietrich from the arm. He's taken the mark. Oh, it's been allowed. I think it was a push in the back though. Well, Rick Kinnear was there, but he didn't have the angle. But in my book, a definite push in the back. So Vic Grenville is coming up for kick number 3. He's only kicked 1 goal today. Taken 3 marks. Couldn't miss from there. Puts it right through the middle. And a rather lucky goal to Grenville Dietrich in the West Torrens side. Because in my eyes and in my mind, that was a push in the back.
Well, I wouldn't like to get too actively involved in that, Kim. I do tend to agree with you. But unfortunately, for Rick Kinnear, the ball was coming very quickly down the field and he couldn't quite get into position to see it. Grenville Dietrich's second goal. The Eagles have opened this final term with a goal in the first minute. It was the Double Blues who did that in the second and third quarters. And unfortunately, in the third quarter, they couldn't score a goal after that.
Once again, it's Kitski opposed to Chris Lindsay. This time it's Chris Lindsay with the tap down towards Moschini. He's been a star today. That time intercepted by Appleton. I like the look of this young lad. Dietrich, well spoiled Heinrich. Christensen couldn't get boot to ball. Desperate work by the big fella again. Players diving over top. Moschini there again. Moschini's been a star today on his half-back flank. He's had 26 possessions, and that's a mammoth effort in any man's language.
Yes, Kim, I've got to say that Grenville Dietrich up forward for the Eagles side has done some pretty heavy bullocking work as well. His efforts today haven't shown on the scoreboard. He only has 2, but he's done a lot of desperate work in the forward lines. Trembath with the ball. Hodson and Kitski. It was Kitski with the tap. It went down. He gave it another tap forward. Now Fatia for West Torrens. Kicks it high into the forward line. Grenville's there again. Could he mark it? He has! The big fellow's got the grab. He used his body beautifully. Nothing illegal about that one. And took in his 3rd mark. In fact, it was his 4th mark. We can't cheat him of one, the big fellow. It'll be dark after the game. He counts them. Grenville Dietrich. 2 goals. Opportunity for his 3rd, and that was a very good mark. Former North Adelaide full forward. Lines him up. He doesn't make mistakes like that. 3 goals straight to Grenville today, and the big fella's on the way back.
Players running around with words of encouragement for Big Dietrich. Been a little bit quiet today, but we're 4 minutes into this final quarter, and he's kicked 3 goals. So he certainly earned his position. But by gee, the way Sturt came back in that 3rd quarter and 2nd and 3rd quarter, they're still right in this game.
Well, they're not out of it by all means. They trailed by 22 points at quarter time, and during the second term they got back to within 1 point of the Eagles. As forward they go yet again, the Double Blues. Out wide for the ball is Field. Bob Enright gives him the close attention and runs the ball out of play, and the throw-in will take place. Bob Enright's been very solid in defence today for the Eagles.
He certainly has been. He's a very reliable player. Front position, Kitski. Lindsay with the punch forward. Down towards Eichner, very close to the boundary line. Oh, brilliantly done by Russell. Over to Veal. This would take a magic kick. Unfortunately, it wasn't a good kick, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. And they're the type of goals that the Blues need if they're to get back into this game. We've had 5 minutes. The Eagles are on 13 goals, 7-85. Sturt 7 goals, 15-57.
Schwartz unable to play on around the mark. The field umpire had brought Wilmot back on the mark, which means the player must play on over the man on the mark. That's the way Schwartz goes on this occasion. Chris Lindsay uncontested. Kim Russell tried to grab him as he came down. The man they call the pencil. You can understand why. Kick is a long one forward. McGrath there for West Torrens. Now Pisani bursts his way through strongly. He goes into the forward line, but there's no one coming out. Now Underwood gathers the ball in. He hit his teammate Reynolds strongly. Now drives grandstand side, looking for Frost. Frost is up and he's got the mark. Play on called the umpire. They said Eichner had a hand to it. McGrath was held but not in possession, and the West Torrens crowd are pretty pleased.
Well, the Sturt crowd unhappy. Frost a little bit unlucky. That was pretty technical. Eichner did get a hand to that, but I think that'd be paid a mark 9 times out of 10. Ball taken by Benson out towards Moschini. Hasn't stopped trying from go to woe. His kick is centre field towards Painter. Used a little bit of pace to accelerate and get himself clear. Centres that ball, and it's been taken by Captain Whittlesey. Now Whittlesey has Benson out wide. It's taken by that player. Thought about chancing his arm. It's a long kick. Robson front position. Wilmot in the middle. Couldn't take it. Harper jumps on top of the ball. The Sturt players grab his jumper. And we'll have a bounce about 45 metres away from the Sturt goal.
Kim, the desperation shown by both sides has been exemplary today. Neither coach could ask his players to give any more than they have. Bruce Lindsay got the tap down to Delina, now roving. Bruce Lindsay the thump forward. Morford, quick handball. Gathering it in was Heinrich, down from his back pocket. Whittlesey, Delina. Now Delina, his best kick could score from there. He elects to go short. Out on the lead is John Painter. Now Painter will play on and centre the ball. Underneath that one's field. He's up and he's got the mark. Well, he had his name on the ball the whole time. He had the sit on Enright. He flew at the right time and gathered in a good mark. Scott Field today, 3 marks, 8 kicks. Started the game as first rover. He's only got 1, lining up his second. That's the way it goes. 2 goals to Scott Field, and the Double Blues are not out of this game yet. The Double Blues were defeated last week by Glenelg by only 19 points. They're not about to give this game up without a good fight. Kitschke displays that too as he dumps the ball forward. Gathering the ball was Painter. He was looking for Wilmot. Now Painter doing his own support work. He can light up the goals. He takes time to steady. He's banged it right through the middle, John Painter. That's his second goal. Inspirational play from John Painter. He followed the ball down from centre half forward and finally finished it off with a magnificent goal.
Well, once again, John Painter coming back strongly into this game. He's trying to gee up his teammates out there because he knows they're not out of this game by any means. He's had 17 kicks, John Painter, and 13 handballs, so that's 30 possessions, and that's a magnificent effort and a tremendous game of football, and there's still about 20 minutes of this game to go.
Well, if the Double Blues can get up in this one, they can thank John Painter. He's been superb today. Chris Lindsay back in ruck for the Eagles. Kitschke for the Double Blues. It was Kitschke with the tap. It went to ground, and they're burrowing in for the ball. There's Kim Russell, who's also had a very good day today. Rick Kinnear, the umpire, he's let the play flow most of the day. Lindsay with the tap from behind. Painter tries to gather the ball in. Morford, the quick kick off the ground, allows Whittlesey for the Double Blues to pick it up. On the left foot he goes forward. The Double Blues are attacking strongly. Delina couldn't mark the ball. Now he gathers in the crumbs. He couldn't get away in the handball. Paul Weston will receive the free kick. Now Weston plays on. He knows the Eagles will need to keep attacking if they're going to win. Towards centre half forward he goes, looking for McGrath. He couldn't take the mark. Finally the ball comes out wide. Off the boot of McCarthy. A B-grade bounce. Allows Eichner. Funny old kick towards Bruce Lindsay. He tackled Moschini when not in possession, and Moschini's won himself another kick.
Yes, the free kick certainly there. What a good player Moschini's been. 16 kicks. And that one's well dispatched too as it finds Underwood, another good player. Underwood, kick number 16 as well. So there's been some good players in this third side. Out towards Heinrich, who's playing in attack now. Heinrich, of course, started in the back pocket. And possibly that's why. That's an awful kick.
That's got the quickest way home for the Double Blues. They trail by 16 points. They need to go direct here to have any hope of winning. John Harper, the former Essendon player, brings the Eagles out of defence. Chris Lindsay's up. And in front of him is Greg Whittlesey, and Whittlesey has the mark. There's not much movement forward for Whittlesey. Now Wilmot takes off on a lead. Kick number 14 for Whittlesey. Wilmot's there. He's up from behind. He nearly marked it. Pater came through. Hit strongly by Harper. Now Geyer. Whittlesey throws out the handball in the direction of Heinrich. Finally it finishes up with Pater, who got the quick kick forward. Delina's off in pursuit, but the ball beats him across the line, and a throw-in will take place. We play just on 9.5 minutes into the final term. 85 plays 69. It's the Eagles by 16 points.
My word, hasn't there been some desperate football there today by both sides? And I suggest there's still some more to come as the ball's punched towards Christensen. Christensen gets another kick away, but there's no one home for the Eagles as it's taken by Smith. He's back onto the ground, and his pass is well put, and it's taken by Heinrich.
Well, that was very cool, Kim.
He's played a lot of football, Daryl Smith. In fact, he's played 132 games for the Blues. And a lot of injuries over his career. Now let's see if this kick from Heinrich's a bit better than his last. Kick number 10. It's off to the right. So the Blues move on to 9 goals, 16, which is inaccurate kicking, 70 points. The Eagles on 13-7, 85, a 15-point advantage.
Well, in recent weeks, it's been the Eagles that's had the inaccurate kicking. It's the double Blues' chance to score big points today. Schwartz plays on from full back. His kick has been direct out to the wing. Morford on to Pays. Two good players for the Eagles. On to Appleton. Fine rookie. Forward he goes, and he's found Hodgson. Now Hodgson hasn't taken the mark, so I has the opportunity to pick the ball up. He's found Whittlesey. Now Whittlesey tackled strongly by Fatia, holding the ball. He took too long to get rid of that ball. Pays endeavoured to play on, but the ball's been called back to Fatia. And the young rover an opportunity for a free kick. Kick number 14 from right half forward. Bounding out is Dietrich on the lead. Gathered the ball off the pack. On to Appleton. His kick is towards goal. Could it go through? It's just offline, however, and Gavin Appleton scored. In fact, he's registered his first score for the day.
12 points into this final quarter. It's the Eagles by 16 points. Kitsky provides the lead. Frost puts the ball out in that direction. It's brought away by Chris Lindsay. Masani in there, paddles the ball forward. He's being pressured by Smith and McCarthy. Play on the call. Smith with a kick away. Fautier in there again, dives on top of it. As too does David Frost. And there'll be a bounce about 50 metres out from the Eagle goal.
Good crowd of about 7,000 people enjoying this clash. Vital one for both sides. Chris Lindsay underneath this one, opposed to Kitsky. It's Lindsay the taller. The height advantage off to Eichner. He pushes the ball wide, looking for Appleton. He couldn't take the mark. Underwood in close pursuit. Now McCarthy, the left footer, slides it along the ground, looking for Matt Benson. Benson's been directly opposed to plays today. He was tackled on that occasion, holding the ball, so the umpire a fine tackle by Gavin Appleton. It only cost the Eagles $2,000. I think he was in Woodville zone, and he comes from Moonta.
He certainly was a steal. I'm sure the people back of Moonta will be pretty proud of him now.
Finding the ball with McGrath. He's moved around strongly at centre-half forward and given the Eagles something to kick at today. It's a long, rangy left-foot kick, and this will be kick number 11. Kick is a long one. The goal umpire's having a very good look at it, but it's just offline, drifting across and through for one behind. And that takes Shane McGrath's tally today to 1 goal 2.
The Eagles lead by 17 points, and we've had 14.5 minutes of this final quarter. Reid brings the ball back into play. It's a very long kick underneath it. Reynolds tried to punch it behind him. Well rode by Scott Field. His kick looking for Klopp. Weston spoils. Shark by Enright. Tried to get the handball away. Stolen by Russell. And the pass comes out towards Wilmot. And he takes a fine mark in front of Robson. He'd only be about 30 metres out. That's his 7th mark. Coming up for kick number 10, so he's certainly found the ball from his full forward position, but he's been too far out to score on most occasions, and that's due to some good defensive play by Robson. And that's a very good kick. It's his 2nd goal. So this double double blue side will not lie down. They move on to 10 goals, 16, 76 points. Well in this game, the Eagles 13-9, 87. Gone back in the centre. Reynolds opposed to Chris Lindsay. Chris Lindsay with the tap, then hit it again. Appleton there. So too is Underwood. Had a great game. Weston and Plum. Taken by Harper. McGrath gets underneath this one. Couldn't hold it. Trying to paddle the ball forward. Taken by Eichner. Kick around his body. Eichner playing against his old side in the double blues. And Peter Reid in his 100th game storms out of the fullback position. And that's well placed to Delina. Now, Delina's come into the game a bit more since being put on the ball. In fact, it's kick number 7. And he managed 3 kicks on his half-forward flank. And there's a big mark. It's been paid. Heinrich. Well, Heinrich kicked the point a few minutes ago from a similar position. And with the double blues trailing by 11 points, this is a much-needed goal. Kick on its way. The umpire moves a little bit, then straightens himself up. But it doesn't seem to matter as it's another point to the Blues. Very inaccurate kicking by the Blues. 10-17, the Eagles 13-9, 16 and a half minutes into this final quarter.
Well, the double Blues only trail by 10 points, and Peter Heinrich has missed 2 very easy goals, crucial ones for the double blue side. That occasion he was very desperate. Kim Russell dived on the ball. But have a look at Peter Heinrich, left of screen. He knows what he could have cost his side. Chris Lindsay, Reynolds in ruck. Neither got a decisive tap. Chris Lindsay was upended on that occasion. Umpire Rick Kinnear will have a ball up. So 87 plays 77. 17 minutes into the final term. The Eagles by 10 points, but the double blues have had their opportunities. Delina, a handball came over the top to Underwood, who shot out a long handball wide. Found Heinrich left-footed as it goes towards Smith. He was interfered with as he went to go for the mark. In fact, Rick Kinnear has seen it that way also, and the free kick's going the way of the double blues. Smith. Well, this would be very interesting if Daryl Smith can put this through. This is kick number 5. They trail by 10 points. A goal here would put them only 4 points down, and a do-and-die finish is developing, and that's the way it goes, right through the middle to Daryl Smith. His first goal, and the double blues are back within 4 points.
Well, the experience of Smith, he steadied. The Blues had opportunities this quarter and couldn't capitalise, but Smith made no mistake. He banged that one right through the middle. It was a fine kick. There's only 4 points in this game, and the Blues, with a late challenge, are looking very good.
Well, anything can happen now. 18 and a half minutes gone in this final term. It's been a crackerjack game all day, and this one's going to go right down to the wire. Trimbath bounces the ball. Reynolds in ruck for Sturt. The big thump forward is a beauty. Kim Russell has the run of the ball. He can line up the goals. Instead he goes short. Heinrich couldn't mark. Now Schwartz is there desperately for Torrens. He's tackled high. Play on called the umpire. Now Harper, the former Essendon player, on the left foot, goes towards the boundary line. John Painter's there. He keeps the ball in play. Over the top he goes. Frost, left foot. He can line up the goals. Can he score? He can't. It's out of bounds on the full, and the Eagle supporters heave a sigh of relief.
They certainly do. 4 points in this game. We've had 19 minutes. Now it's the Blues doing all the attacking. They've kicked 4 goals this quarter to the Eagles 2. And Robson brings the ball back in play. His target's Chris Lindsay. Couldn't hold it. What a game of football. The Eagles led by 22 points at the first quarter, 11 points at half-time, 16 points at three-quarter time, and now they find themselves only 4 points clear of a desperate double blue side.
Well, Kim, we said at three-quarter time not to write them off. They trailed by 22 points at quarter time, but they got back to within 1 point just prior to half-time. Can they get up and snatch a victory here? Underwood, back to McCarthy. There have been good players in defence for the double blues today. That was a funny old bounce. Enright picks up the crumbs, goes forward. Christensen had a bad bounce. McCarthy couldn't pick it up. David I was a star early. McCarthy coming into the game for Tia. Desperate work by both sides. And and umpire Rick Kinnear is forced to bounce. And Kim, this game has turned into a beauty.
It certainly has, and the bounce of the ball causing havoc out there for players. The turf is very firm. The ball's just bouncing everywhere as Chris Lindsay gets a tap back to Weston. McGrath punches the ball behind him. He does this a lot, but it's been well taken back there by Eye, and he gets a clearing kick, and he also gets a bit of safety as that ball goes over the boundary line.
Kim, I'm sure McGrath has been instructed to punch the ball forward to give the Eagles running players an opportunity of streaming into goal, and that's why he does that. He's obviously acting on instructions as Kitski gathers in the ball. He was tackled. Now Moskeni, a real star today. Onto the left foot, he goes wide. No one home for the Double Blues. Enright comes out strongly. Didn't bounce well for him, however, on that occasion. The kick forward to the Double Blues forward line. Wilmot's up. He couldn't mark it. Robson there giving close attention. Now Smith, an opportunity. If he picks it up, he can get off the handball. Russell, the kick forward. And he's found, who is it? Heinrich. Oh, now, who else would you want not to take it? He's already missed two.
Oh, David.
Well, the Double Blues supporters, and if he misses this, they'll just about string him up. They trail now by only 4 points. Peter Heinrich, he's missed two fairly easy goals. Kick number 13, and if ever there was a goal in his career he wants, it's this one. Oh, no! Well, there you go.
Oh, one must feel for young Peter Heinrich. He's come back into the side today, and he's only played 27 games, and don't get me wrong, he hasn't played a bad game of football. It's just that the pressure is so intense at the moment that everyone is taking him with exceptional amount of interest in every kick he has for goal.
Well, he's certainly been under the microscope, and he's failed miserably. 2 points and an out of bounds on the full. Still, he's finding the ball. Kick number 21 for Benson. He's had a good game, good duel with Pays at centre wing, and there's a mark to Reynolds. Oh, Reynolds has the mark. What a sensational grab, and a very timely one it is. That's mark number 2, and that couldn't have come at a better time for the Double Blues. They played 22.5 minutes into the final term. They're down 4 points. The angle is going to be quite acute. And with only kick number 3, could it be David Reynolds to put the Double Blues in front? Former St. Peter's boy could make a real name for himself if he can nail this one. Kick's on its way. The umpire says it's through. The Double Blue supporters are up in elation, and David Reynolds, obviously very happy with himself, has popped his second goal through.
Looking at Reynolds, he appears to have blood coming from his eye. He's pumped up. He's rucked well. He hasn't had a lot of kicks. And the crowd are on the edge of their seats here at Thebarton Oval with the Blues 2 points in front. It's the first time they've led all day.
Well, they beat South Adelaide by 61 points. That was a mammoth victory. This one's going to test the Double Blues medal. Their other 3 games have been losses to Port, Norwood and Glenelg, so they've been beaten by some pretty good sides. Can they get up and defeat this plucky West Torrens outfit? Reynolds, the big thump forward. Is he pumped up? Kim Russell gathers in the ball. He can line up the goals. It's the way he goes. Lee Robson's going to cut it off. He'll defend stoutly for the Eagles. He goes towards the boundary line. Klomp's there. Pays sensationally over the top of Klomp. Picking it up was Benson. Onto the left foot he goes. Smith is there. Wilmot also. Neither can take the mark. Robson tackles Smith with the ball on the ground, but umpire Rick Kinnear will come and have a ball up.
It was a great effort by Robson. It was 2-on-1 there. It looked pretty dangerous for the Eagles. Only metres out from the Sturt goal. Russell in there. Hodgson with a clearing kick, but there's no one home for the Eagles. It's all Sturt as Klomp has a fumble. Pays applies the pressure. He picks it up cleanly. Handball to Christensen, who's fallen out of the game. The kick out towards Appleton, being harassed by Underwood. And Appleton takes that ball over the line. Just into time on at Thebarton Oval, and it's the Blues by 2 points, and what a game of football.
Big crowd here of about 7,000 people. I think it's swelled, in fact, for this final term, as people obviously listening to their radios have realised as this has turned into a real contest. Forward go the Double Blues. Klomp has been quiet marks. Now he could possibly goal from there. He's not a bad kick. Kick number 7 for Robert Klomp. This one is a crucial kick for him. Obviously feels he can kick the goal. That's the way he goes. The kick's on its way. It's going to drop just short, but could it sneak through? It's offline, however, and through for one behind. They They advance their lead to 3 points, the Double Blues, and Torrens now need a quick goal.
Well, the Eagles trailing by 3 points, but they've lost their runners. That's the concern for Western as he ends up with the ball. No runners, players standing still everywhere. Great discipline by the Blues. They're cutting off all the leads. The crowd wants him to get on with the game, but he's got nowhere to kick. This time he goes out towards Eichner. The sun was in the umpire's eyes. Lindsay in there, being pressured. Eventually he wins himself a free kick for a push in the back. Now he has to play on quickly, uses the runner Harper. Pays wants it across the ground, has front possession, fell down, that's been taken there by, I can't pick the player up, it's Underwood. Over towards Pater. Robson out front, he fisted that ball away, it's gone straight to Delina. Delina with a long kick, Smith away to, over the top, taken by Heinrich, and he's finally got a goal. Oh, and have a look at the Blues. Where were the Eagles? They were nowhere to be seen. And it's the Double Blues now by 9 points, and we've had 26 and a half minutes of this game, and this could be a sensational victory to the Double Blues.
Well, I suppose to be fair to Peter Heinrich, he may have nailed the goal that seals the fate of the Eagles side. He's had 3 opportunities to do it earlier, and he missed. And finally, the handball from Daryl Smith gave him just desserts. 27 minutes now gone. There couldn't be too much time left. The Eagles will need a couple of goals, and the way the Double Blues are playing, the game looks to be well within their keeping.
It certainly does. They've kicked 13 goals, 18. The Eagles have kicked 13 goals, 9. A 9-point advantage. They had to get a new ball as Heinrich kicked that one out of the park. Hodgson in the ruck. Big tap by Reynolds. And once again, it's the Blues into attack. Klopp coming into the game. Enright fighting. Now taken by the young fella in field. Swaz back there. Heinrich tries for a magical mark. Harper tackled. Now the ball taken by Heinrich again, and back there it's Lee Robson. He's playing a good game. They've just got nowhere to go, the Eagles. Now it comes out to Christensen. Like the front position. Frost with the spoil, taken by Klopp. Trying to get a handball away. Eichner held without possession and will receive a free kick.
Now Eichner will need to get kicking. There's a 15-metre penalty, but I think that was a fairly professional one from Frost. Well done, Frost. He knew the Eagles had possession. He wanted to give the Sturt defenders time to get back on their men. He booted the ball away deliberately. Good play from the experienced man. Eichner to centre half forward. McGrath is there, couldn't take the ball. Underwood, one of the Double Blues' best players. Eichner was held for not possession, and watch Frost. He'll guard the mark. He'll make sure Eichner doesn't go too far. The Eagles are running out of time. They need to play direct football. That's the way Eichner goes, through centre half forward. Lindsay was out under plenty of pressure. The Double Blues have done well. They've dropped a man back in defence. Bruce Lindsay, Batia, around the shoulder. Can McGrath grab this one? He leads in the race to the ball. Pays tried to burst his way through, and he's won himself a free kick for kicking in danger. Now Pays will need to kick this one. They trail by 9 points, the Eagles, after leading all day. Pays, kick number 12, lines up the goals. It's right through the middle. If they can get the ball back to the centre of the Eagles and snag another one, they can still win this game yet. We've played 29 minutes into the final term.
Well, I would suggest, David, there'd be no more than 90 seconds to go. The Eagles trail by 3 points. Anything could happen. Weston's thrown himself into the middle of the ground. They have to get this ball out of the centre. Hodgson has to win the tap, but I tell you what, Reynolds won't be giving anything away. He's been superb in the middle.
He has. He's won the last 3 tap downs with a big thump. Can he do it again this time? Hodgson giving him no opportunity, took him out. Whittlesea bounded it forward. Bruce Lindsay, their tackle, were not in play. But have a look at the desperation by both sides. They've fought this one right out to the finish. Oh, goodness me. Rick Kinnear will have another bounce. Played 29 and 3/4 minutes into the final term. Weston with a tap. Whittlesea gathers it forward. The Double Blues are on the attack. That's just what Weston didn't want. Wilmot couldn't mark. Now Schwartz tackled. Enright. Harper. They need to go direct. The Eagles not wide. Pays pushing the back on Benson. Plough called the umpire. Appleton. He just pulled off that ball. He can't get out the handball, and now Trimbark will have a bounce. Is there time, Kim?
Well, everybody's looking up at the time clock, and I don't think the sirens working properly here at Thebarton Oval either. They've had to use one of those makeshift sirens, the marine horn. And a free kick's been picked out. It's gone the way of Hudson.
The double blue bench are calling for time. They claim the game's finished. Merv Kane looking anxiously at the time clock.
Well, they're saying this man Payne has got the ball, and I can assure you that he will give it to someone. He never wastes a possession. He's steadying the game right down. And look at that double blue bench. They're looking up at the time, people. Look at that kick by Painter. The Blues will win this game. That's the siren of the game at Thebarton Oval. A sensational victory to the double Blues. They've come from nowhere. They've trailed all day. It's on 14 goals, 93 points. It's been an exceptional game of football. And football's been the big winner here at Thebarton Oval.
Yes, and Sturt had to kick 6 goals, 3 in that last quarter to defeat West Torrens by 3 points. And for the Sturt side, Field got 3, Wilmot, Painter and Kitschke 2 each. And for the Torrens side, Dietrich, Hayes and Lindsay, that is Chris Lindsay, booted 3 each. And it was after the game that David Mackay caught up with coach Mervyn Kane and also Peter Heinrich.
Merv, have you come back down the ground yet?
Well, I think I have as of now, but it's always a difficult one when you come from behind like that. So, you know, you tend to not relax for half an hour or so.
You were in a lot of trouble early in the game, though. Your defence just looked a little bit too short for the tall timber that Torrens had.
Yes, I thought young Peter Heinrich is a battler in that area, and we played him on and we were confident that he could bring the ball to ground. But unfortunately, the way Torrens were bringing the ball in was making it very hard for our full-back line.
You started the game in defence and they shifted you to an attack in the final term. Now, you had 3 shots for goal and you fluffed them. What were you thinking when you missed those goals that could have put you in front of against Torrens?
What club I could play for, I think. Yeah, I never had kicking practice at goals before in my life. I've always been a backman, and when they said go to the forward lines, well, this is something different, I suppose, and couldn't believe it when I got the ball, and I wish I hadn't have now, I think.
Yeah, to kick 6 goals in the last quarter to come up and beat West Torrens, and